and we are wide. Millions of followers, hear us out. Seen all over the world, there's no doubt. We are the future, shining bright. Join the raw feed every night. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is scary. On Next News Network, we never vary.
Good evening and welcome to the Next News Network's Raw Feed. Tonight, we are diving into a whirlpool of political chaos that is threatening to drag our nation under. But before we plunge in, I want you to know something crucial. You, our viewers, are an integral part of the show. We're not just talking at you, we're talking with you. As we stream live to millions worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X, I want you to engage with us. Share your thoughts in the live chat. Send us your Rumble rants if you want to be featured on the show. You got to do that on Rumble. We want to hear your voice because, unlike the mainstream media, we actually care what you think. Now, here's where you come in. The algorithm overlords are always trying to silence us, but we have a secret weapon. That weapon is you. Right now, I want you to take out your phone and text this live stream link to 5 friends. Let's bypass the censors and spread the truth the old-fashioned way, person to person. And while you're at it, make sure you are following us on Rumble and X. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, because you never know when we might drop a truth bomb that the powers that be don't want you to hear. Now, let's talk about why you are really here. Tonight's show is a 5-course meal of political intrigue that will leave your head spinning. We're talking about direct threats to President Trump's life that will make your blood boil. We've got Kamala Harris fumbling through interviews like a freshman in a senior-level class. We're exposing a voting machine hack that will make you question everything you thought you knew about election integrity. We'll dive into the forced liquidation of InfoWars, a chilling reminder of what happens when you dare to challenge the narrative. And we will break down Kamala's latest interview disaster that proves once and for all why she is not fit for office. But here's the thing, folks. Shows like this, shows that dare to speak the truth, are under constant attack. The establishment wants us gone, silenced, erased. But we are still here. We're still fighting, still bringing you the news they don't want you to hear. And that is thanks to you, our loyal viewers and supporters. So if you value what we do, if you believe in the importance of independent media, we need your help. In the description below, you will find links to donate. Every dollar you give is a vote for truth, a middle finger, if you will, to the censors, and the lifeline that keeps this show on the air. Remember, we're all in this together. So buckle up, Patriots. It is going to be a wild ride tonight. And now it's time to welcome you to the show. Let's see who we got here. We got Ed in the house. We got Ramey in the house. The Big D's in the house. We got South Texas Big Boss Man. We got the Hawk. We got the Family Man. Giovanni's here. We got Drift Speed. What's up? Yes, we are effing live, Drift Speed. That's right. We got Fishman, Supreme Being. We got Shore You, the Rumble Bot. Michael is here, and Donna. Helium Hub, Crypto Collective in the house. Zach's here. What's up? Matrix 19 is here. Giovanni, Ronnie, Heather Feather is here. Margot is here. Margot Thatcher. Margot Thatcher? Donna's here. What's up, Donna? Family Man is in the house. Pothead Kenny, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you. We got Chris here. Vegas, Lolita. We got the Hawk. We got Frank and Zach and Easy Sanchez coming in from County, California, from a liberal prison. Yeah. So when you are sounding off in the comments as a sort of ritual here, we want to know where you are watching from and how you're watching. So it's like St. Louis on a smartphone or New York on a laptop, et cetera, right? It helps everyone get an idea of how broad this family really is, because we really are a family here at the Next News Network. You are a part of this family as you are watching this feed. Okay, this is a family show, and you know what? You're in it. Okay, let's dive in now to the first topic of the night. This is what you guys really want to hear about. So let's begin. First segment. Buckle up, Patriots. We're about to dive into a story that'll make your blood run cold. President Trump, the man who dared to challenge the swamp, is now facing direct threats on his life. Multiple threats. We're talking simulated drone attacks, FBI investigations tainted by anti-Trump bias, and a foreign regime openly fantasizing about harming a former U.S. president on American soil. This is not just an attack on Trump. It is an attack on the very foundation of our republic. So stay tuned because, yes, this is going to get ugly. Now, check this out. You're listening. With threats against President Trump escalating, our nation's ability and stability is at risk. Just like these threats, our national debt has surpassed $35 trillion, threatening our economic security. Smart patriots are protecting themselves by shifting to what the Constitution deems as real money, gold and silver. As uncertainty looms, don't let your wealth be vulnerable. Call Global Gold Investments at the number on the screen, 888-700-4148 for their free 2024 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide. Mention Next News for 5-star treatment and a complimentary portfolio analysis. Remember, in times of crisis, if you don't have gold, you don't have true wealth. Secure your future now at IRAGoldproof.com. Okay, let's show you right now what was just published by the Iranian regime that has everybody up in arms. Donald Trump Jr. says this was posted on the Ayatollah's website. I guess we should expect nothing less from a terrorist regime. My father had Iran almost bankrupt, and the Biden-Harris administration gave them millions, making the world a far more dangerous place. Let's watch this together. Target. And there you have it. A direct threat published by the Ayatollah himself on his website. And yes, we have lots of reaction now to this. Lots of reaction. And it doesn't just end with the Ayatollah or Iran. An Idaho man was charged with threats to kill Trump. A man named Warren Crazy Bull made 9 threatening calls to Trump's home, claims he was told to do so because what the prior Secretary of State Albright said about Trump campaign blamed Harris and Dems for the threats. Idaho man charged with threatening to kill Trump in phone calls to Mar-a-Lago. He said, "I want Trump in a body bag." Unhinged leftist from Idaho was just charged with making threats against the former president, left multiple threatening calls. Here is a picture of the guy. Warren Jones Crazy Bull. This happened just hours ago. Documents obtained states he threatened to kill Donald Trump by placing multiple calls to the Mar-a-Lago hotel. And he's actually posted some videos online, and there's a longer version that I really can't even play here. It's really quite sick. Let's see how we can.
I want you guys to know that it's over for Trump. I want Trump in a body bag on TV, you're going to have your head chopped off.
Okay.
But not before first being stabbed in the heart.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's basically the lunatic making the threats right there. And of course, for the YouTube censors, we are presenting this to provide context to the greater story. So, give us a break here, would you please? But of course, if you recall, let's see, this is we got Crooks, we got Routh. We remember that guy in Arizona too. Remember this guy?
President was just. It's finally over. Police have arrested the man who threatened to kill former President Trump ahead of today's Arizona border event. Fox.
So that's the fourth guy. And now, of course, we got the Ayatollah posting messages and these videos. And you know what? It's really coming down to the rhetoric of the left that is causing all of this insanity. They are driving this. President Trump, of course, remaining defiant, absolutely defiant. Listen to what he just said a couple hours ago.
And that's why we all need to pull together to thwart these attempts and to bring back American strength, power, and prestige. We will soon have it back. No threat will shake me. No enemy will intimidate me. And I have never been more determined than I am today, and I will never back down in my fight to make America great again, which is what we're doing.
And the crowd goes wild, and the liberals go crazy. Here is what's interesting. We have all these threats. All these threats are taking place. And then Joe Biden decides to go on The View. Whoopi Goldberg compares Trump to a buzzing bug, and she imitates Trump flying around. And then what does Biden do? Watch.
And he just wouldn't go. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. So you felt...
Oh, that's so funny. We're going to squash Trump like a bug. So much for toning down the rhetoric, right? So much for toning it down. And then we have, Lisa Murkowski. Of course, she's not going to be voting for Donald Trump. That's not a surprise. We got some more information here. Where is that clip from? Oh, yeah. Here's the United States Postal Union sending a letter calling Trump an existential threat. The Postal Carrier Union, the people that deliver your mail. Yeah. That arm of the federal government have now declared Trump an existential threat. We are living in clown world, my friends, when the postal office is going postal on Trump. Here is Biden's Secretary of Commerce. Listen to what she said.
Remarkably, he says, is the opposite. It's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer. We have a remarkably talented candidate who is sincere, who's pragmatic, who's open. Let's just get it done. And it's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for...
Let's extinguish him, squash him like a bug. This is all current rhetoric that just piles on the long list of leftist lunatics who are continually amping up the violent rhetoric that are inspiring these people to go and sit down behind a fence line in the golf club for 12 hours. Okay? Inspiring people like in Arizona to drive hours to go and hunt down Donald Trump. Or this lunatic to make multiple phone calls and threaten Trump's life. Well, he's been arrested, thank God. We are going to find out what's going to happen with Routh, though. That's going to be interesting. But Trump's senior advisor, Jason Miller, reacting as well about the recent threats and the rhetoric in Trump's comments today.
Disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden can laugh about this or completely ignore it. You heard from President Trump today that if there was another country that was making threats or potential assassination attempt on a leader such as himself or on one of his political opponents, he would take immediate action. He would send a signal that they would be blown to smithereens. This is not just some political attack. This is not simple election interference. Laura, this is an attack on the entire United States. Where's Hakeem Jeffries? Where's crying Chuck Schumer? Where are the Democrats? Where's the mainstream media? This is not a time for jokes. They're talking about our sacred institution of elections and our way of life, our democracy. President Trump has come within an eighth of an inch of his life for him not being here from a first assassination attempt. Fortunately, we had a very responsive and well-acting Secret Service agent that prevented a second attempt from happening. We don't know just how close this additional attempt could have been, but the fact that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are doing nothing and saying nothing is a disgrace.
It is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace what we're witnessing in this country. The rhetoric is so violent. Rand Paul, on the Secret Service failures, one U.S. Secret Service agent called a toll-free number for help. Listen to this. This is Rand Paul.
This guy with a big, but the errors are just, legion. But here's the big errors. Roof left unattended. Nobody did anything about it. But a couple of minutes, 90 minutes before this, they see a suspicious guy with a big backpack, big enough to basically fold up and put a semi-automatic weapon in. They see him with a rangefinder. Enough to stop the proceedings. That alone, if you cannot find him and interview him and you lose him, it's enough to stop the proceedings. But with 3 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, 6:06, the shootings at 6:11. At 6:06, people are yelling, man on a roof, man on a roof, pointing to the roof. The police at 6:08 are yelling, man on a roof, man on a roof. They're running with guns drawn to the man on the roof. And at this point, there's a broadcast, man on the roof, to everyone in the control tent. Do they get the president off the stage? Nobody says, take the former president off the stage. Nobody does the one thing you should automatically do when a man is on the roof and you see a potential shooter. They didn't do their job.
Report outlines the Secret Service's failure in Butler, Pennsylvania, including the one Secret Service agent who had to call a 1-800 number to ask questions about the drone he was supposed to be using.
But
total incompetence, or is it darker? That's the question we all need to be asking. And take a look at this video, this Trump sniper team at Trump Tower. These guys are on point. Look at the hardware these guys are carrying. Now, it looks like I'm guessing these guys are Secret Service sniper teams. There's been a lot of talk about Trump hiring private security as well. I'm not sure if he's done that, but it's highly likely that these could also be Secret Service or private. Trump Tower sniper team don't play. Think he handpicked them? Wouldn't be surprised. Look at those guns, Lordy. The asshats better not try anything. It'd be absolutely stupid for them to do so. Look at these guys. This is the kind of protection that Trump needs to have. Okay, they had police patches, so they may actually be local New York police. Now, I want to play something for you today here. This is Beheezy Tweets. A guy named George. Just started following him today. He showed up in my For You page on X. If you're not following us on X, you need to do so. You'll get a lot of additional information and reaction throughout the day that you won't normally find here on YouTube. So I messaged this guy. I said, I really appreciated what he said. I'm going to play it for you. I said, do you mind if we play this on the show tonight? He said, absolutely, man. He's like, I heard about your issues with censorship, heard about your issues with demonetization. He's like, go for it, man. So I really appreciate him. So let's take a look at this guy. His name's George.
So apparently there's a video going around that was supposedly posted on some Ayatollah website in Iran. I don't even know what Ayatollah means, but the video is supposed to prove that Iran has a plot to take Trump out. Don't get it twisted. If something happens to Trump, I'm not even gonna think about thinking to blame Iran. I have a whole list of people that I'm gonna blame first, and Iran does not make that list. They're not even in the top 100. So let's say we wake up one day and something really tragic happened to Trump. Who do I blame first? Well, I guess we can just start with the people who spied on Trump as a candidate and as president-elect, and probably still spy on him to this day. How about the people that created the fake dossier to make him look like a Russian plant? Oh, how about the FBI that legitimized those claims, even though they knew they were false? How about the people that impeached him? How about the 51 intelligence officials who wrote a letter saying Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when it was real the entire time and they knew it? It just dawned on me. The kind of people who would want to take out Trump are the kind of people who rigged and stole the 2020 election. What about the people who raided his house for no reason? Or charged him like an iPhone in every single jurisdiction? Fannie Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, the list goes on. What about the neocon warmongers who are pissed off that Trump didn't want to go to war with any country? Would they want to take him out and justify an endless war with Iran? They want a combo like IHOP. Hey, look, everybody, your hero's dead. No! We're going to blame it on this country we already don't like, so that we can go to war with them. We take out the guy we don't like, check, and now we get an endless war, check. Yeah, Iran's a corrupt country with a lot of evil leaders, but they're just a scapegoat. The real threat is in D.C. So apparently there's a video.
Yeah, so he's reacting to the video we played for you at the beginning of the show that was presented by Iran. We're learning now that Jim Jordan is now probing A.G. Garland on the release of the attempted Trump assassin's manifesto. We reported on that yesterday. Now, if you don't know about it, it literally says there's a $150,000 bounty that this attempted assassin has now put out because the DOJ published it. How many more people, how many more lunatics are going to see that thinking that they are going to have a payday? Because the DOJ publishes this. Matt Gaetz, days ago, already pointed out that there's 5 known assassination teams operating in the United States. 3 of them are foreign, 2 of them are domestic. And how many are there now? After that letter went out. And we've got 2 more lunatics? They get picked up? Yeah. This is crazy, but this is what we're dealing with. The post office going postal. Iran publishing this. Biden's Secretary of Commerce telling Democrats to extinguish Trump for good. Biden going on The View, squashing Trump like a bug. Pray for President Trump. He posted on his Truth Social, big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I'm surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I've ever seen before. Thank you, Congress, for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes. Strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. Okay, we'll find. Let's go. We'll play.
I don't think that it can be defended. What happened on January 6th
Give me a break. Give me a break. Murkowski's still playing that song.
Was an effort by people who stormed a building in an effort to stop an election.
Okay, well, we all know that was instigated. There were people and provocateurs planted inside Antifa, FBI agents. The whole thing was a setup. There's no question. We all know that. And who knows if this whole Iranian thing was a setup, but at least we know that they published it. And now there's all this reaction. It's disgraceful. Just do yourselves a favor. Do the president a favor. Do this country a favor. Gather your friends and your family and just say a prayer. It's the only thing that's going to protect this president is the hand of God. And we know the hand of God is on this man. He wouldn't be here otherwise. When he was standing there in Pennsylvania, in Butler, on that stage, turning his head, I have this vision. I can see it, my mind's eye, my spirit's eye. I can see the hand of an angel just turning the president's head to look at that graph that was presented. It's the only thing that that's the only way divine providence and protection is on this man. So let's amplify our prayers. So there you have it. A former president's life in danger. The mainstream media is silent. But here's the multi-million-dollar question. Who do you think is really behind these threats? Is it foreign actors, domestic enemies, or something even more sinister? Sound off in the comments below. And remember, in times like these, staying informed isn't just a right, it is a duty. So keep watching, keep thinking, and most importantly, keep fighting for the truth. Let's get your reactions in the chat room. Okay, Brian wants me to remind you guys that if you want to be featured, to be a part of the show, go to Rumble and drop a Rumble rant. We will feature your Rumble rant. Minimum is $5. It will be shown and read live on the show here, and it helps us. Every dollar helps keep us going. Believe me, it adds up. We can pay a couple extra bills. We can keep Brian on the payroll. We had to fire everybody else, sadly. Our full staff, writers, producers, graphic designers, hosts, everybody. Yeah, sick. But we've got a new application in at YouTube. We're waiting to find out if that's going to get if we're going to get remonetized. We got the Texas Senate thing going on. Waiting to hear back on the latest from that situation. If you're not familiar with that, you need to go into our channel and check out my interview with that senator discussing the disclosures that they demanded from YouTube regarding the hearing that they had in May about election interference, where this channel was mentioned. So some really groundbreaking stuff happening there. So groundbreaking, in fact, that the disclosures could change the landscape of YouTube for conservative channels forever. Okay? Once those documents are public, it is going to change everything. It is going to pull back the curtain to get the answers that are needed, because they will not give anyone answers. If your channel's demonetized or terminated, they won't tell you exactly why or what. They'll say, oh, well, go back and delete some stuff, change some metadata, and you're fine. But they don't tell you what it was. So hopefully we will get some real concrete answers in the next couple of weeks. And anyway, but that's why we need you guys to drop Rumble rants and subscribe on Rumble to the membership side so that we can keep going. Even if it's $5, $10, man, it helps. Trust me, it really does. Okay, that's enough of me begging. Let's get to your reactions from the what, Brian? Okay, yes, you're welcome, Brian. Okay, let's see. Sean Q says, I get 24-hour bans constantly. Stella says, why are you not trying to get on Truth Social on their Truth TV, Truth Plus? I don't know much about it. I don't know. I don't have an in to figure that out. I guess you'd have to go through the front door or something to figure out how to get on that platform. Truth is, we need to have somebody that is willing to pay us to produce this content or license this content on their platform. We are in talks with another platform to do so, but up until now, I've just been told, hurry up and wait, basically. I was told in September that would happen on another platform. Never happened. We brought this show and channel to Rumble, and they basically spit on us. Yeah, it was pretty disgusting, the way that the VP there treated us. Not Chris, it was the other guy. It was just disgusting. I don't think I've been more disrespected in my life. Rumble's okay when it comes to providing free speech, but they think that they're God's gift of free speech, and it's pretty sad. The hubris over there. So, anyway, there you go. There's my thoughts. Okay, you got me talking. Okay, Barry Electronics. You want to find out about the drone stuff? You got to scroll back. Trump America. No, I'm not in my boxers. I wish I was. Got any Rumble rants, Brian, to come at? If you see him. Okay, no Rumble rants. Deborah says, to be fair, playing out a bug squashing is actually toned down for them. MLP Death Dealer, YouTube has my channel under a microscope, mostly due to the fact I'm a brony that votes for Trump. What's a brony? What's a brony? I don't know what that means. Should I even? Oh, it's a boy who likes My Little Pony. Is that what that is? I just got a word here from Brian. Okay, yeah, if that's your thing, go for it. Listen, we are on Truth Social. We are. We have a profile there. But we fired our social media guy. We used to have a guy that would publish on all of the platforms that didn't have any sort of API or auto posting solution. So we used to always post to Getter. We would post to, I think we would even post to Gab, Truth Social. We published to all those platforms. Brian, are we streaming to Getter yet? I thought we were. Is this still going out to Getter or no? Yeah, we need to get this back on Getter. At least we did get some good views there. I don't know what Truth Social's doing though. Okay. Let's see. I wish I could hear this. Oh, my newborn is crying. Family man. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Wait till they start teething. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's jump to the most recent. Thank you. Pod Kenny says, thank you, Brian. Hang in there until November and January, praying once we get the A team in, the media will be totally redone. Well, listen, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. But the amount of illegals that they brought into this country is pretty sick. And the amount of people that they're registering to vote, those illegals, it's during COVID, it was mail-in votes. Now it's imported votes. So they have to activate more physical logistics to bring people physically into these voting locations, get them physically registered. And they're doing all kinds of things to register these people. Okay. Let's get back to it. Section 2, segment 2, raw feed coming up. Speaking of voting, right? Speaking of voting. I should have saved all this rhetoric for the segment. Okay. All right, stand by. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see will shake your faith in our electoral system to its core if it hasn't been shaken already. Imagine a voting machine, the very backbone of our republic, hacked in mere seconds with nothing more than a USB stick. This is not science fiction. It's happening right now, live on a podcast for all to see. Patrick Bet-David presented it to the world today, and the implications are staggering. If this doesn't wake you up to the urgent need for election integrity, I don't know what will. So buckle up, because this revelation is about to change everything. Now check this out. Are you listening? Just as we've seen voting machines hacked in seconds, your daily commute can be compromised in an instant. But there is a solution. Dash cams. Like election integrity measures, dash cams provide irrefutable evidence, making drivers 60% less likely to be found at fault in accidents. Don't let your road safety be as vulnerable as our voting systems. Visit carvisionx.com for a state-of-the-art dash cam with 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 motion detection. Get free express shipping and bonuses with every order. Protect yourself on the road, because in today's world, video proof is everything. So, let's jump into it. Now, when I saw this video posted on X today, personally, I wasn't shocked. I've seen this done before, and I'm going to present to you some other examples. But it's important that it was presented yet again. Because while I may understand, I may have prior knowledge of voting machines getting hacked, there's an entire generation of Americans that weren't around when Hacking Democracy was broadcast on HBO in 2006. Okay? Like, we saw when those voting machines were hacked long time ago. But now it's been presented again in recent history. 24 hours ago. Patrick Bet-David. A voting machine hacked in seconds with a USB stick. This should send chills down every American spine. Election integrity is at stake, and we need action now to ditch these machines and secure our votes. Here is Patrick Bet-David with the man and the machine. And if you want to watch the full podcast with Harry Hursty and watch the full thing, you can go to PBD Podcast on YouTube. I love that podcast. Personally, it's a great podcast. So anyway, let's watch this. This is about, let's see, is there a 2-minute clip? I thought there was a 5-minute clip. Maybe it's just 2 minutes. Okay, let's play here's the 5-minute. Let's watch this. It was 5 minutes. Sorry, my bad. Okay, here we go. Brian, go full screen. Give people a full experience. Let's watch.
Win vote machine. And for the reasons that we don't want to put a logo, this voting system technology company name is just a fake name, because I have been using this particular machine in filming a number of training videos, some of those for the government, just to show vulnerabilities like USB vulnerability, which we are going to be using. This machine actually have many vulnerabilities, and at the time when this was still in use, this was called the worst voting machine used in the United States. The worst voting machine used in the United States.
And where was this used, Harry?
That was used in Maryland. It was in Virginia. I don't have the complete list what all places it was used, but it was fairly widely used. So what we are going to be exploiting here is a USB vulnerability. The USB vulnerability is amazingly good to identify because it's easy to mitigate. You just stopped access to the USB port. I have plugged here a extension cable just that we can see that the actual USB port is behind there and it's accessible by the voter. I'm using here a commercially available USB computer called Bash Bunny. It can be many other devices. This is just an example. This particular device is $120. You can buy it from online. And I have pre-programmed it, and if this would be a real attack, the attack will take 6-7 seconds. I have slowed it down and make it visible so that the audience can see what is happening. So when I'm plugging it in, this is the Schrodinger's USB stick is always wrong way. So the computer starts, and once it's started, it's doing its magic. The moment you see that the screen is changing, that is when the hack would have been already done and I would be unplugging it. But I'm just showing this number of things. So now it would have been done. It's showing you the program manager. It's showing you now the command prompt. And this is where all the votes live. So I'm just showing that the directory where all the votes would be. At this point of time, this stick has already complete control over the system. So at this time, anything can be done, anything can be changed. And as the last thing, I'm just showing a fake results, just to show that can be done. It's just to show that how the system is controlled. So this is a good example of a hack. And as I said, only reason why anything is seen on the screen and why it's this slow is because I artificially slowed it down and made it visible so that the audience can see that there's a control over the voting machine. This particular machine has many other vulnerabilities, way worse than this one. So that's why it's very good that this machine is no longer in use in the US. And this is also showing how demonstrating the vulnerabilities work, because that causes changes. And, for example, removal of this machine from being used in the US.
So now, what is it doing right now, Harry?
Nothing. It's already, the whole hack was done. But if this would have been an election, I could have gone to the database and, for example, changed the votes. That's one possibility.
How much of it could you have changed?
Anything.
You could have gone from 51 to 73.
Add a new candidate who was not even on the ballot. It doesn't matter. Because if you have total control over the system,
right,
you can do anything you want. As I say, one example was that we add a new candidate and make that candidate to win. it would be obvious if
the president of DEF CON is the one who won, George Washington. That's the one you're saying.
Yeah,
I got what you're saying. So is this like to the average hacker? Is this machine a joke on how easy it is?
It is a joke.
And how many years ago was it used?
I think this was last time used in 2012.
God, 12 years ago.
And also, just an example, that when this was brought first time to DEF CON, we had a professor from Denmark, and in less than half an hour, he hacked into this machine wirelessly. He didn't even touch the machine. He took complete control over this machine wirelessly, because this voting machine happens to have a wireless Wi-Fi access.
So, okay, so is it fair for one to speculate and question that any of the electronic voting machines we've used previously, possibility that could have been hacked, possibility that the winners were flipped because somebody got into it?
So again, the fundamental problem with this voting machine is it doesn't have a paper ballot. So if somebody hacked this kind of machine and would have manipulated it, there is no evidence. That's why we need paper ballots, and especially we need hand-marked paper ballots. Because if the results are called into question, now you can go and hand count those ballots and verify that the outcome of the election is right.
You know what else would combat the election fraud? You know how they do in the Middle East? They make you put your thumbprint on the ballot. That's how they do it there. Oh, yes. Mike Flynn saying our election system is vulnerable to nefarious actors. We must get rid of the machines. Total BS. We continue using them. That was on the Patrick Bet David podcast, what you just saw. Now let's take a trip down memory lane. This is CNN. CNN. 7 years ago. Let's see if we can get this.
Well, we're loving this one, but most people probably wouldn't.
A room full of hackers, all trying to hack into voting machines.
You can possibly make it accept a fake card or accept any card, so you could add your own votes.
These are supposed to be the latest machines. They're still used in elections, and they're running ancient software. I think that, if somebody wanted to, it would be pretty easy to fake an election.
Less than a couple hours with access, and they're already figuring out ways to break in and play pranks. But it gets more serious.
So you could leave the security key into it and still inject.
I feel like I'm the only one here that hasn't found a vulnerability. It's not what you think. They've all been invited here to demonstrate just how vulnerable the tech we rely on for our elections can be. The experiment is the brainchild of Jake Braun. He's a former security advisor for the Obama administration.
You know, with everything that happened in 16, what we're trying to do is get this industry to mature from a cybersecurity perspective, so you don't have folks saying what they are now, which is things like machines are unhackable or databases are air-gapped and can't be changed.
It's not clear if any actual machines were infiltrated in the 2016 election, and no one has suggested any physical votes were changed. But intelligence officials agreed that Russia was able to meddle with other election-related systems.
Okay,
This
sure.
inspired Braun
That's
and the
CNN.
organizers of this year's DEF CON hacking conference to collect over...
Okay, so you get the point, though. CNN was broadcasting that machines can be hacked. This is not old news, but it needs to be front and center as we move into this election right now, because these machines can be hacked. And as we have, what is it, 20 million newcomers in this country now, and they're all being registered to vote through different means. They're giving these newcomers driver's licenses. And as you register for your driver's license, would you like to register to vote too? Check the box. No question if they're actually allowed to be in this country, if they're an actual citizen or not. This is very, very dangerous. So there are so many ways that this election can be stolen. We are weeks away from this election. And my hat's off to Patrick Bet David for raising this issue.
There is no evidence. That's why we need paper ballots, and especially we need hand-marked paper ballots. Because if the results are called into question, now you can go and hand count those ballots and verify that the outcome of the election is right.
That's, of course, if they even let you view the hand count. Terrifying technology is right there in front of all of America to see. So there you have it, folks. Irrefutable proof that our voting systems are about as secure as a screen door on a submarine. But here's what I want to know from you. What do you think that this means for the integrity of our past and future elections? Are paper ballots the answer? Or is there a technological solution we haven't considered yet, blockchain technology? Or should we just have people just drop their finger in some ink and put their fingerprint on the ballot as well? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, your voice matters both in the chat and at the ballot box. So stay vigilant, Patriots. Okay, let's get into the chat, see what you guys are saying. Okay. Robin says, I will never say newcomers, they are illegals. Well, Robin, you see, saying illegal alien, I believe that is a trigger keyword that is actually preventing this channel from being monetized again. Yeah. So every time I say it and my voice print is translated and the metadata is attached to this video, that word is attached to the video and then it's flagged, and suddenly I am being I'm marginalizing a group. And therefore I should be punished for that. So when I say newcomers, it's just a nice way around it. Okay, let's be clear. All right, Robin, now you know. Okay, let's see. M. Green says, I have to show my ID when I vote here in Virginia, but I know it's probably not like that everywhere. Paper ballots with the fingerprint, says Sophia. Paper ballots are the safest, says Ben. Napalm 182 says thumbprint. JD Hodge says, in the primaries I went to a different recreation center and I used paper ballots and even put a thumbprint on my ballot. Nice work. Now, when I go in to vote, this is what I do. I go in to the voting booth and I bring my cell phone and I record my entire voting process. Okay. In Illinois, they use this machine that has like a dial on it. And it's kind of like a dial that selects each of the boxes to check. So you turn the dial, click, 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 select the box, and there's a big button, and you press it, and it selects the box. And you just do that through the whole process. And I record that. And then it actually does take a piece of paper and prints out the results. You see it on the side in a plastic screen behind this plastic screen. The paper ballot rolls up, and then I take a picture of the paper ballot, and I also record it going into the machine. So I have every record of my vote if there's ever a question of that. So I don't know like what the rules are for cameras in voting areas. I'm sure you can do it just by yourself, but they don't want you recording everybody around you. So I would encourage each one of you to do that, to practice that. Kamala Harris remarks on Michael Jackson trial resurface. Yes, I know that. Yeah, okay, I remember that. In fact, Donald Trump, there was a clip, Brian. Okay, Brian just brought something up. Kamala Harris remarks on Michael Jackson trial have resurfaced. She was trying to take down Michael Jackson way back then. And what's interesting is there's a clip that I saw circulating the other day, and it showed Trump. He was on Larry King live, and he was referring to Michael Jackson. He was referring to the witch hunt against him, the indictments that were against him, and he referred to her, the prosecutor. He didn't say her name, but he did refer to her. It was really an eerie video clip. Yeah, we could dig deeper into that later. But I mean, I know people who know and worked directly with Michael Jackson. In fact, I met them when I went to Corey Feldman's premiere of his movie about the stuff that goes on in Hollywood behind the scenes with the kids. And turns out the guy was a big fan of Next News. You can look him up. His name's Captain Leather. You may have seen pictures of me like wearing this like leather American flag jacket, or like I have a couple jackets that he's made for me and my wife. But he was a friend of Michael Jackson. In fact, he has one of Michael Jackson's thrones in his house. Big, huge, like gilded plush throne. And he designed a lot of Michael Jackson's wardrobe back in the day. He does all the rock stars and like Guns N' Roses and Kiss and Smokey Robinson and Michael Jackson, Corey Feldman. I mean, the list goes on and on. This guy has done it all. Anyway, but he swore to me up and down that, like, you know, he knew Michael, and he said all the allegations were false. All the allegations were false. And when I brought it up with Corey Feldman and I asked him about it directly, he said no. He's like, I will not comment on it, but they're false. So, you know. Anyway, that's a little tangent here. Okay. Now listen, I'm not here to like defend any of that stuff. I'm just saying what people have told me who are closer to the situation than I am. Okay. Ah, yes. Here we go. Okay. Hold on to your hats, folks. Our illustrious Vice President Kamala Harris is about to embark on a last-minute border visit on Friday. Now, isn't that convenient? After years of turning a blind eye to the crisis, she suddenly discovered Google Maps can locate the southern border. But don't be fooled, this reeks of desperation. A Hail Mary pass in the fourth quarter of a game they're losing badly. Get ready for a masterclass in political theatrics that would make Hollywood blush. Now, have you ever wondered how Chuck Norris maintains his strength and energy at 84? While our vice president struggles with a simple border visit? Well, Chuck's secret is a game changer, just like we need for our border crisis. He's stronger now than most people half his age, tackling challenges head on, something our administration could learn from. Imagine having the energy to secure our borders and the stamina to see it through. Chuck's method could revolutionize your health, just like we need to revolutionize our border policy. Discover his secret at chuckdefense.com/next. It's time to take control of your health and our nation's security. So let's take a look. Let's do a deep dive into Kamala's desperate effort here. The Harris campaign plans a U.S. southern border trip amid polling concerns. Wow. We're weeks away from the election, and she says, I'm going to go to the border now. I'm speechless. I am speechless. I mean, realistically, this is so transparent, what she's doing. She was the border czar. She was tasked with securing our border, and we have 20 million newcomers here now. Drew Hernandez, he posted that this is a clear indication that the Harris campaign is in bad shape just a month and a half out from an election. They will use this to have her lie to the American people about being concerned about the border. This will backfire big time. And it already is. It already is. Listen to what CNN had to say. Donald Trump posted this on his Truth Social account. CNN stunned, admits Kamala poll numbers are not good, and behind Biden's Trump is more popular than ever. Listen to this.
Quinnipiac, I would just say the spate of polls that came out yesterday, Quinnipiac, our CNN polling, the Gallup poll indicators right now, the nervous campaign this morning is the Harris campaign. They're not where they need to be with young voters. They're not where they need to be with voters of color, working class voters. They're not achieving the margins that they need that Joe Biden was getting in 2020. And Trump's base is immovable. And right now, his administration and him personally are more popular than they have ever been.
That's true.
I would just say this.
More popular than they've ever been. We're going to get to these clips here in a moment. I got it. This is the clip I actually wanted to play. This is the same guy. CNN Scott Jennings destroying Kamala on her phony election year border stunt. They play this on CNN. She's been chanting against mass deportation for years, but now, just before an election, she suddenly pretends to care about the border. Listen to this.
Going to fix that. I don't know if you all have seen the video. There's this amazing video of her from a couple of years ago out chanting, down with mass deportation. Doug was right behind her chanting along. I mean, her views on this are so obvious. Going to rallies and chanting, running on it in 2019, 2020. I mean, we know.
Deportation, up with education, down with 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 deportation, up with education. Down with deportation, up with education, down with deportation, up with education, down with deportation, up with education.
Wow, that goes on forever.
Vis-a-vis Donald Trump. We know where she is on immigration. Vis-a-vis Donald Trump. Going to the border is not going to change that. The American people are going to see him as tough on it. Tougher than she will ever want to be on it. They don't trust Democrats on this issue because of the last 3.5 years, the day one executive orders, and then waiting until the shadow of an election to try to pay some lip service to it. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. People are going to see right through it, just like they see through Kamala Harris. She did give a speech today at the Economic Club. While she was there, she wore this beautiful piece. Look at that on her neck. Look at that beautiful necklace. Turns out that that's $62,000 necklace. Tiffany Hardware Bold Graduated Link necklace. $62,000. This is the middle class girl. Kamala Harris says she's middle class, yet today wore a $62,000 Tiffany Hardware Bold Graduated Link necklace during her speech in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Oh, and then she said this.
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work.
Yeah, we certainly do. Your policies, Kamala. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, this is great. Another word salad coming straight from Kamala.
Spirit. We need to guard that spirit. We have to guard that spirit. Let it always inspire us. Let it always be the source of our optimism, which is that spirit that is so uniquely American. And let that then inspire us by helping us to be inspired to solve the problems.
Let it inspire us to be inspired.
We face, including our small business owners. We need
it's a bunch of just buzzwords thrown out. Small business owners, right? She says that, so the small business owner kind of listens. Oh, she cares about small business owners. She wants them to be inspired. inspired, small business owner. That's how she works. It's called programming. Cat Turd posting this. New York Post front page, the mess they have left. Biden tries to spin world chaos and speech to UN. U.S. debt tops 100% of GDP, first time since World War II. Not looking good for her campaign. They're running out of ideas and trying to boost her. Senator Joe Manchin refusing to endorse Kamala Harris, citing her backing of killing the Senate filibuster to push through an abortion law. I mean, that's not a big shock, but he's still a prominent Democrat that's not going to endorse Kamala Harris. We got Pennsylvania as well. Pennsylvania has flipped, according to Polymarket, 51 to 49%. This is massive. Huge thanks to the grassroots warriors like Scott Pressler and Turning Point Action for making it happen. Also this, now, I mean, you may have not heard this yet, the Al Smith dinner. Maybe you have. Do you remember that it was the dinner where Trump and Hillary, they both went to this dinner, and they have it every election, and everyone kind of roasts everybody. It's really great. It's lighthearted. Kamala has said that she's not even going to go. I mean, she can't even face Trump at a dinner. How is she going to face world leaders? Now, this is Cardinal Dolan mocking Kamala Harris for skipping that dinner, stating it hasn't no one has skipped it in 40 years. There's Trump and there's Hillary. I mean, you got the elite of the elite here. And of course, they're separated by a cardinal so that there's no punches thrown by Hillary.
We're disappointed. We were looking forward to giving the vice president an enthusiastic welcome. And we were confident that she would find this. You know, she speaks very much about the high ideals and how it's good to get away from division and come together in unity and all. Well, that's what the Al Smith dinner is all about. We haven't given up yet. We're not used to this. We don't know how to handle it. This hasn't happened in 40 years since Walter Mondale turned down the invitation. And remember, he lost 49 out of 50 states. I don't want to say there's a direct connection there. But so we're not used to this, and we're not giving up. You know who's been a help to us, Lauren, is Senator Schumer and Governor Hochul. They both are working hard to see that they convince her to come.
So there's still a chance.
Yeah, and Senator Schumer said to me, he said, I don't think she made the decision. I think her schedulers are saying she can't make it. So we're not giving up. We hope she's there.
I mean, this could just be an attempt to get headlines. I'm not going to go, and then everyone speculates, and then they wait, and then last minute she shows up, and everyone's like, "Oh, look, she showed up!" And then the headlines all are printed again. You know, it could be a way to grab 2 election cycles. Who knows? You heard him mention the Quinnipiac poll in that previous clip. Scott Jennings remarking, Trump is winning the Hispanic vote, 52 to 44. According to a national Quinnipiac poll. This is huge development because the Democrats take the Hispanic vote for granted, just like they take the black vote for granted and the Jewish vote for granted and the gay vote for granted. But let's go back and let's just revisit that clip one more time in the proper context that we're presenting it.
The spate of polls that came out yesterday, Quinnipiac, our CNN polling, the Gallup poll indicators right now. The nervous campaign this morning is the Harris campaign. They're not where they need to be with young voters. They're not where they need to be with voters of color, working class voters. They're not achieving the margins that they need that Joe Biden was getting in 2020. And Trump's base is immovable. And right now, his administration and him personally are more popular than they have ever been. I would just say the spate of polls.
So, you know, all I can tell you is that we need to move past the failed policies, my friends. We need to move past the failed policies that proven don't work.
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work. We just need to move.
Priceless. So there you have it. Patriots, the border czar finally remembers she has a job to do just in time for the election. But here's what I want to know from you. Is this too little too late? Can Kamala Harris salvage her reputation with this 11th hour border visit, or is this just another political stunt destined for the blooper reel? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, America, we don't just watch the news, we question it. All right, chat, what do you guys have to say? Let's jump in. I want to hear you. Sound off. Sound off. Where you at? Where you at, chat? Are you unburdened by what has been done? Okay, I'm trying to catch this. Is a lot. Okay. Trump won already, says Alan. Trump fights for the USA, doesn't even need to. Who was it that said it's the economy, stupid? I think it was James Carville during the Clinton and election. Clinton Bush. Was it Clinton Bush? I think so. Let's see. James Bong says, I'm burdened by her past. Talk about a dog whistle. They all blowing the dog whistle all day, says Yalna. Hispanic Women for Trump 2024, Dina Stevens. If Trump really does have 52% of the Hispanic vote, Democrats literally can't cheat enough to win. Yeah, that's going to be huge. I like Scott Jennings, says another person. Any Rumble rants coming in, Brian? No? No. Nobody cares about this channel, I guess. Everyone wants to watch it, but they don't want to support it. No, we got a lot of people supporting us. I'm kidding. In fact, I just got a donation from somebody just sent one in. Let's see, who was it? I think his name was George, actually. Where was it? Just came in. Where'd it go? I just want to give a shout out. Here we go. Notification of donation received. George R. $11. Thank you, George. Sincerely. Okay, let's jump back into topic number 4. I know you guys want to hear about all this. This is really important. This is really sad too. But anyway. Okay. Brace yourselves, Patriots. We're witnessing the fall of a media empire that dared to challenge the establishment narrative. InfoWars, the controversial platform founded by Alex Jones, is being forced into liquidation. A federal judge has ordered its assets to be auctioned off this November, but make no mistake, this is not just about Alex Jones. This is about the First Amendment being put through the wood chipper. Are we watching the death of free speech in America? Well, stay tuned, because this story is far from over. Now, if you are feeling pain of watching free speech under attack, listen up. Just as InfoWars faces liquidation, many Americans face daily physical pain without relief. But there is hope. While we can't stop the assault on the First Amendment overnight, we can address your body's pain today. Enter Canalidine, a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's powerful enough for UFC fighters and could be your answer to pain-free living. Don't let pain silence you like they're trying to silence alternative media. Try it risk-free for 90 days. You're days away from beating pain forever, even if we can't immediately cure the pain of censorship. Go to tricano.com/NNN. You'll find a link down below. Now, I'm going to take you down a trip down memory lane here, because I've worked with Alex, man, long time. See these pictures here? There's that's me and Angie. That was, goodness, 2007, I think that was. Yeah, 2007, when I had the Lone Lantern Society. That's me and Alex marching down the street in Chicago. I don't remember what street that was, but that's Alex and me. Look at me. Oh, man. I remember that. And then flash forward years later, Alex in his studio. I was there with him. There I am. Chad taking the picture behind the scenes. There's me and Alex the night before, enjoying some tequila at the bar before we went to dinner. It was a good night with Alex that night. But now, it's getting dark at InfoWars. And before I get to Owen Schroyer's remarks, I put out a tweet, and I said that everybody, all freedom-loving billionaires, now is the time to act, and repost this call to action. A federal judge has ordered InfoWars to be liquidated to pay a group of families. Of course, You can't even say the name here. InfoWars has stood as a stronghold for free speech, and now it is under attack for telling the truth. But everything, the assets, the platform, the tools that keep this voice alive, don't let censorship win. Step up and help preserve InfoWars for the future of free speech in America. And I tagged Elon Musk in this. And what's wild is, as I was researching this topic for you guys, that is all I saw. Bridget Gabriel, Elon Musk should purchase InfoWars and make Alex Jones the CEO. Nivek, wouldn't it be funny if Elon Musk showed up and bought InfoWars and then just gave it back to Alex Jones? Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene with Alex. She says, I've always liked Alex. The judge ordering Alex Jones to be auctioned off to pay $1.5 million defamation damages, a sum he could never pay, proves it was always really about destroying Alex Jones. Roger Stone tweeting out that he's putting together a group to buy InfoWars and hire Alex Jones to run it. Alex Jones assets to be auctioned. InfoWars to be liquidated and auctioned off in November, with U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez stating he will approve the auctions. Now, how does that work? How do they approve the auctions? Because can one billionaire come in and swoop in and buy it all? You're going to auction, and like just have this bidding war? Or does it have to be individual buyers for each piece? Like, what are they going to auction off? His monitor screens? His computers? Like, what are they going to auction off? The switchboards? What's interesting is just recently, if you don't know, Russia Today, they were canceled completely. They were deleted from YouTube and basically kicked out of the United States. They had a studio in Washington, D.C. And I forget how I came to see this, but I noticed the auction site. I noticed this auction site for media equipment, and I looked at it. I said, "What is this? Like, this is a full-blown media studio in Washington, D.C.?" And as I scroll through the listing, I recognize that this was all RT equipment. And I saw how it was all sectioned off. Like, there was a bulk listing of 5 adapters. There was an entire studio setup with video walls. There was news desk. There was cameras. There was monitors. Everything that you would need to start your own news channel. In fact, I was like, man, if I had the money, I would buy a lot of that equipment and, upgrade this studio. I mean, this studio is pretty good, I have to say, for what we have and what we've been using. But I envisioned that's theoretically how they would auction this off. But if a judge is going to be approving it, what if this judge goes, "Oh, I don't want Roger Stone and his crew to buy this. We're not going to let one corporation come in and buy this." So does all the people Roger is assembling, are they going to have to step up and coordinate sales individually? Is that judge going to shut those things down because they know their agenda to just give it back to Alex Jones? Because the whole idea is to shut down Alex Jones regardless. If you remember, the CIA and FBI got caught bragging to an undercover journalist how they set up real Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Yeah, so we were. You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do. How? You set them up. Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot? And we get really close. We call it a nudge. A nudge. A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad. Alex Jones. Yeah, so we were after him. You are? We did what we wanted. Which was what? Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
Gavin O'Blennis is a contracting officer at the CIA. O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 2021 and 2022 in the San Diego office, moved on to Homeland Security where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border, and now works for the CIA managing multi-million-dollar contracts across government agencies and private sector vendors.
I work for how would I put this without I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. If I say intelligence, what do you think? CIA? Yep.
Oh, you work for the CIA?
I do.
That's incredible.
I'm a contracting officer.
That's amazing.
So I deal a lot with like different agencies. We're contracting with like Director of National Intelligence to do stuff. We do
2022
So,
in the
take it back here.
Yeah. We get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. And that's only putting on a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chop his legs off.
Chop his legs off, take his money away. And that's what they're doing right now. That is exactly what they're doing. On Tuesday, a U.S. bankruptcy judge in Houston said he would approve an order to auction off Alex Jones' InfoWars assets in November. Let's go
When I joined
to
InfoWars.
Owen Schroyer. He posted this last night when the news broke. I reached out to some of the guys on the team there to find out what was going on, and Alex posted a message this morning, but here's Owen.
All right, guys. I've been getting a lot of messages about the breaking news about InfoWars, so I figured I would come on here and just make a public statement. Let me start with this. I've never been more proud of the work that I've done at InfoWars. You see, when I left sports media in 2016 to get into political commentary, it was InfoWars that invited me in. It was InfoWars that offered me a job. I was an anti-government guy. I was an anti-lying media guy. I was an anti-lying politician guy. And quite frankly, for somebody like me to break into the political media like that was not an easy thing to do. And there weren't really platforms out there that would host a guy like me or eventually give me a show and allow me to create my own content in the way that I see fit. But InfoWars did. And it's now total confirmation that I made the right decision. And let me tell you, it was a decision that came with a lot of consequences. Some obvious. I was put in prison. I've been sued multiple times. I've been attacked. I've been assaulted. I've been censored across the internet. I get blackballed from pretty much, or have been in the past, from pretty much all conservative outlets. But you notice that the narrative is changing. You notice that everybody sounds like InfoWars now. You notice that everybody wants to have Alex Jones on now. Because they're realizing Alex Jones and InfoWars were not censored, were not attacked, and now as of today, being shut down and liquidated, not for lying, but for telling the truth. Because you see, if it was for lying, then wouldn't it be the mainstream media on trial? Trump-Russia collusion, Hunter Biden laptop is fake, vaccines are safe and effective, weapons of mass destruction. Should I go on? So, no, I've never been more proud of my work at InfoWars than I am today. I've never had total confirmation that I joined the right team of telling the truth and anti-corruption media than today when I joined InfoWars. And now, yet again, at this level of the InfoWars saga, people will see how the First Amendment and free speech is under attack, and all the weapons they will use against Americans to try to take your rights from you and shut you down if you won't be silenced. Now, that's all I'm going to say on this. I'm not going to comment on the court developments or the legalese. I would advise you to tune into the Alex Jones show tomorrow. This is his company. This is his story. I was just honored to be a part of it. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're in a fight for the future of this country. We're in a fight for freedom. We're in a fight for truth. And it's never been more proof positive that I made the right decision in that choice to join InfoWars. And I've never been more proud of the work I've done at InfoWars than I am today.
You know, it's painful to hear him talk about InfoWars in the past tense. Oh, I remember many, 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 many years ago when some years before this photograph was taken, I spent all this time downloading Alex Jones films. All these movies. They were like on this downloading peer-to-peer program. It wasn't like a torrent program. It was some other program. And I downloaded just every single Alex. I'm like, who is this guy? I downloaded all these videos, and I just sat and watched every one of them. I must have spent an entire Saturday watching 5 or 6 different Alex Jones films. And I realized that I wasn't crazy. That all the things I knew, all the things I was researching prior to learning about Alex Jones, Alex only confirmed it in a visual, narrative sense. It's one thing when you go and you read these books or magazines that talk about these different entities and groups. It's another thing when somebody puts it together in a format that's palatable and visually engaging. It's the same experience I got when I eventually met Aaron Russo, and he made the movie America, Freedom to Fascism. And I saw Aaron's words and his narrative presented on a big screen. Like, it was one thing to watch all of Alex's movie on a small screen in my basement in my house years and years ago. But then all of a sudden you see Aaron Russo's film. This Hollywood producer, mind you. Not a news broadcaster in Austin, Texas. But the guy that worked with Bette Midler and Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. Worked in Hollywood, produced big films. Box office hits. Now presenting a film exposing the entire scam. Right there on the big screen. That moment changed my life. And that moment is what led me to where I am right now. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Aaron Russo. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Alex Jones. So to hear this message being presented in the past tense, it's heartbreaking. But we have to remember that it is more than InfoWars. Like, we are all Alex Jones. I'm being persecuted in my own right for the truth that I present on this channel. I take risks every day opening my mouth. But we are all Alex Jones, and it's really about the ideas. It's about the message. It's about the movement. It's about waking people up, not getting woke. It's about waking people up. It's about the scales falling from our eyes so we can see the world for what it really is, and we can see the demons. We can see them all. And what I think what's really, really beautiful, and it's another one of these like massive, like culture jam, paradigm shifting moments is when you see Alex Jones sitting on a stage with Tucker Carlson. Okay? Go back. I mean, I remember Tucker Carlson years ago when he would not even entertain any of these ideas that Alex would have presented. And now here he is, and inviting Alex Jones to join a stage with him and interviewing him and joining forces with him. My friends, we are at a major, like a beachhead moment for our movement of truth that we have all been fighting for decades. Remember when you used to get laughed at when you would talk about things? I would get laughed at when I would talk about alternative sweeteners. I would get laughed at when we talk about all these topics, and now it's like, it's common knowledge. It's because the message continues to permeate for decades and decades and decades, and it sinks in. And then you have moments like this that you see right here, Alex and Tucker on stage together, unified. And it's a beautiful thing. And Alex is being persecuted for that. But it's an idea they cannot kill. Ideas are bulletproof. Remember that. Okay? This is not the end of Alex Jones by any stretch. They can take his... I want to go into like a Braveheart rant. They can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. You know. Think about it. They could take his entire operation. They can take his cameras. They can take his monitors. They can take all of it. But guess what? He can still go on social media. He can still present his message. He can still pull up his phone, record a message, and broadcast it to the world. And that's why they're trying to take his social media accounts away. Oh yeah, it's not just about his studio and his infrastructure. They want to shut down all of his social media accounts again. Now, if they do come in and liquidate InfoWars, there's going to be intellectual property that might go along with it. They might go ahead and take his InfoWars X account. They might take that, but they can't take his personal account. They can't take all of his producers' accounts. No, they can't. And if someone comes in like a Roger Stone and brings in a coalition of investors to buy it up, then it's game on, friends. But if you want to watch this video, I clipped it out. I put it on my X profile. It's Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson discussing how turning away from God has led to societal collapse with rising crime, degeneracy, and control by the global elite. They claim that the elites view humanity as disposable, pushing depopulation and a globalist agenda. It's about a 5-minute clip. Head on over to my X channel and my X feed, and you can see it there. I will repost it right now, just so that it's at the top of the feed for you guys. Say a prayer for Alex. Say a prayer for his team. We've been doing this. We've been fighting this thing for a long time, my friends. We've been doing this for a long time. That was a great moment that I had with Alex. I'll never forget that. There will be more. So there you have it, folks. A media outlet silence, not by the strength of counter arguments, but by the crushing weight of legal action. But here's what I want to know from you. Is this justice being served, or is this a chilling precedent for independent media everywhere? If InfoWars can be shut down, who is next? Your favorite podcaster? This very show? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, silence in the face of censorship is complicity. So speak up while you still can. Okay, guys, let's get to see what you guys are saying in chat. Oh man, that was a hard video to make, man. Really, really hard. Really hard, man. Brian, bring up that triple box so I can show this picture of me and Alex again. I think I just want to keep a look, let people see it again. No, not that one. The one that you see the chat on the screen. Triple. Yeah, that's the one. Just watched Tucker and Roseanne. It was the GOAT, says Deborah. Any Rumble rants yet, Brian? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Appeal, says Fishman. No, don't worry, we've appealed like 5 times already. There's no link for the X feed. What are you talking about? Next, you see at the bottom of the screen right there, at Next News Network. Right there. Let's see. Stop war and abortion. Same dirtbags that briefed Trump on potential assassination. People try to kill him. Yes, here's Taz. Taz says, I remember downloading the video when Alex infiltrated Bohemian Grove. Then learning exactly what went on over there. Yep, I will never forget that. That was something. And you know what's funny about that is my son came up to me the other day and he said, Dad, have you ever heard of Bohemian Grove? Well, granted, my son's like 12, 11. And he tells me, I'm like, where'd you hear about that? He's like, one of his friends told him at school about it. And then told him about Alex Jones. I said, oh, really? And then I took him into my inner sanctum and showed him all of my moments that I've had with Alex and his mother has had, and he was kind of blown away. I don't think he quite realizes the volume of work that we've done together. I love this picture of me and him. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Got one more segment to get to. Hard-hitting truth hurts the most to them, so they lie and try to take it from us. Well, it's because that's what they are. They're liars. They're liars. Liars hate the truth. They hate the sunlight. They don't want to be exposed. So when people expose them, the only thing they can do is crush them because they have no counter argument, because their arguments are already based on lies. That's what it is. Anyway, let's get to our final segment of the night here. Excuse me. America, we are weeks away from one of the most crucial elections in our history. And the Democrat nominee, Kamala Harris, has finally emerged for her first solo network interview. But instead of a robust discussion of her vision for America, we got a carefully orchestrated softball session from MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle. Even with kid glove treatment, Harris manages to fumble key issues. The fate of our nation hanging in the balance. Is this really the best the Democrats can offer? Buckle up, folks. This pre-election disaster is one for the history books. And just as Kamala Harris' interview performance shows signs of political aging, your skin might be revealing your own age, but unlike political missteps, we can combat aging effectively. After 20, your body produces 12% less collagen each decade, leading to wrinkles and sagging, much like how repeated gaffes can age your political career. Our collagen supplement combines 5 critical types of skin health, potentially reducing visible signs of aging faster than a politician can backtrack on a statement. Well, we can't promise to improve VP interviews. We can help you look younger. Get 51% off at healthwithgary.com, plus free coaching, an ebook, and more. Rejuvenate your skin, even if you can't rejuvenate the administration. So, she hasn't done any press conferences. She did a interview with Training Wheels a couple weeks ago. She did another local interview that was heavily edited when it was published. And now we've got this. Charlie Kirk. The fact that Kamala Harris is doing her first solo network interview since being installed as the Democrat nominee is headline news. Is completely insane. Stephanie Ruhle from far left MSNBC interviewing her in Pittsburgh. Reporting from Axios confirms that the Harris-Walz campaign has given fewer interviews than any candidate in modern history. Kamala has yet to hold a single press conference. Kamala Harris announces first solo network interview since Democratic nomination. First one. The first one. Charlie Kirk also weighing in that Rule is a Kamala apologist. It's not really a network interview. It's a pro-Kamala propaganda piece. Rule joined comedian Bill Maher on his show on Friday and rushed to defend the vice president after Bill Maher and anti-Trump New York Times columnist Brett Stevens suggested that Harris needed to be more specific in her interviews. Kamala Harris is not running for perfect. She's running against Trump. We have two choices, and so there are some things you might not know her answer to. I would have played that clip, but we would have got a ding for it. I got clips from the interview too, but I should preface this whole thing. This is I think this is so funny what you're about to see. Just listen to
inflation.
Stephanie Rule. Listen to Stephanie Rule.
And one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
Did you hear that? Holy cow.
And one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. One could watch it and say she didn't give a clear and direct answer, and that's okay. That's okay. Because we're not talking about clear and direct issues. Okay, well, I think she asked some pretty clear and direct questions. So that's her defending the interview, defending Kamala Harris after the fact. Because she knew it was a freaking disaster. And she's already running cover post-interview. Here, Ultra MAGA, Brendan Dilley. Can we trust you is the question. She verbally answers yes while shaking her head no repeatedly. Subconsciously, Kamala is telling the truth by shaking her head. Listen.
The needs of the people. Can we trust you? Yes. Yes. I am not perfect, but I will tell you, I'm always going to put the needs of the people first. Can we trust you?
Can we trust you? No, shakes her head. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Harris interviewed today by the great Stephanie Rule on MSNBC. That was Peter Baker making that tweet. And I said, oh, well, can't wait to see the edit, buddy. Trump War Room posting this after ripping President Trump on tariffs. Kamala Harris pretends she cares about American manufacturing. Her plan would punish domestic production and reward companies that ship jobs overseas.
So which is more important? It's most important that we maintain America's ability to have American manufacturing of steel by American workers for a number of reasons, which includes, again, back to the point of growing our economy and how I think about the economy overall, investing in new industries. There is not a new industry that I can imagine that is not going to require steel as a manufacturing of steel as a fundamental part of what it accomplishes. And having American workers in an American company manufacturing that steel for those new industries is going to be critically important, not only in terms of our economy, but also in the context of national security. Most people now realize if we didn't before the pandemic and the strain on supply chains and an over-reliance on foreign manufacturing, that we have to be intentional about U.S.-based manufacturing. And of the products that we have to prioritize, steel is one of them. And that's always going to be my priority.
Oh, sure. Whatever you said. Here's more. Kamala fails to explain how she plans to tackle price gouging without implementing price controls. That's exactly what her plan is, Venezuelan-style price controls.
After prices are still high.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You said you want to take this on by going after those who engage in price gouging.
Yeah.
But as somebody who supports free markets, who's a capitalist, How do you go after price gouging without implementing price controls? Because once we get in this zone, people start to get worried and they say, I don't know what.
I mean, her her reaction, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting asked a really difficult question.
Stands for.
So, just to be very frank, I am never going to apologize for going after companies and corporations that take advantage of the desperation of the American people. And as Attorney General, I saw this happen. In the midst of an emergency, whether it be an extreme weather event or even the pandemic, we saw it, where those few companies, not the majority, not most, but those few companies that would take advantage of the desperation of people and jack up prices. Yeah, I'm going to go after them. Yes, I'm going to go after them. And that is part of a much more comprehensive plan on what we can do to bring down the cost of living, including housing, including the everyday needs of the American people.
Okay, so let me try to understand what she's saying here. She talks about isolated incidents like the pandemic or a natural disaster where the demand for items skyrockets. And along with demand, prices go up. That's capitalism. Yes, people might be taking advantage of those situations, but those items may be fewer and scarcer, increasing their value. So she's listing off just two, isolated incidents. And she's going to tackle that to bring down prices everywhere? Yeah, makes no sense at all. But of course, remember,
work. And one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
Yeah, remember that as we play all these clips. Oh, she said, I guess she was confronted as well on if she ever worked at McDonald's. Remember that lie she told? And McDonald's said she never worked there?
Your opponent, the first one, just a fact check. Okay. Because your opponent
there is
almost
no little
every
job.
day. Okay,
there's no such thing as a little job.
Okay, fair. Because your opponent almost every day seems to be talking about this. So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on a sesame seed bun, working out at McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay. Now the other job. But
it was not a small job. Like, I did the fries. I mean, yes, but I did.
The first
she worked
one,
the fries.
just a fact.
She was on the fries.
And this gets crazy.
Check. Because you're...
Oh, yeah. But of course, remember...
Question about work, and one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
Yeah, like if you worked at McDonald's or not. Okay, here's another one. Kamala's biggest gut decision in recent memory. Ready for this?
Yeah, probably the biggest gut decision I've made most recently is to choose my running mate. Yeah.
Oh.
There were lots of good, incredible candidates. And ultimately that came down to a gut decision.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was all her decision. I'm sure there were dozens of people who were telling her what to decide. In the span of 90 seconds, border czar Kamala claims she suddenly cares about illegal immigration, blamed Trump for not supporting a bill, and called for mass amnesty.
There are people there that are stressed, that feel that they're at capacity. Communities around the country that have legal immigration, many have said, we're at capacity. And many feel like the government has said to them, well, adapt, sit down, be quiet. This is how it is. What would a Harris administration do for those communities who've taken in many, many legal immigrants but are at capacity?
Well, first of all, we do have a broken immigration system, and it needs to be fixed. And if we take a step back, months ago, some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress came together with others, proposed a border security bill. That would have put 1,500 new border agents on the border to help those hardworking border agents who are there right now working around the clock. Would have put more money into stemming the flow of fentanyl, which is killing Americans around our country and devastating communities. Would have put more resources into our ability to prosecute transnational criminal organizations, which in my career I've prosecuted. Donald Trump got word of the bill, realized it was going to fix a problem he wanted to run on, and told him to kill the bill, don't put it up for a vote. He killed a bill that would have actually been a solution because he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And that's part of what needs to be addressed. And my pledge is that when elected president, if the American people will have me, I will bring that bill back and I will sign it into law. And we need a comprehensive plan that includes what we need to do to fortify not only our border, but deal with the fact that we also need to create pathways for people to earn citizenship.
Oh, yeah. So they can vote. That's what it comes down to, folks. You know that. Here's another one. Getting some pushback from Trump's senior advisor. And we got J.D. Vance, pardon me, reacting as well. Listen to this.
You just laid out your economic vision for the future.
Yeah.
But still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. You know, I have to tell you, I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams.
Dreams.
We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic. But not everyone has the access to the opportunities that allow them to achieve those things. But we don't lack for those things. But not everyone, gets handed stuff on a silver platter. And so my vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy, is about making sure that all Americans, wherever they start, wherever they are, have the ability to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions, which include, for middle-class families, just being able to know that their hard work allows them to get ahead, right?
Yeah.
I think we can't and we shouldn't aspire to have an economy that just allows people to get by. People want to do more than just get by. They want to get ahead.
Yeah. She said nothing there. Nothing at all. Let's hear how the Trump senior advisor is reacting.
She said that, all you hear about Kamala Harris talking about is the fact that, I grew up in a middle-class family, and I thought it was interesting. Kelly Meyer there, the last report we heard right before you came to me, she said that Kamala Harris was expected to lay out her economic vision today, but people didn't hear any of those details. And let me tell you, Kamala Harris, I don't know how many times she thinks she can get away with this. You can't tell the media, hey, I'm making a big economic speech, and then all you do is you go out and you roll out the same old platitudes that everybody's already heard before. What's happening here is Kamala Harris knows that she's on the ropes. She's going to the border on Friday. All that's going to do is highlight the fact that every American knows that she did not do her job in protecting the border. She gave what was supposed to be an economic speech today, and all she did was roll through the same old things that everybody's already heard before. There's no economic plan. She knows she's losing. She knows that Donald Trump is driving the conversation on the economy. He's been in Georgia and North Carolina and Pennsylvania. He'll be in Michigan on Friday talking about auto workers. The economy and inflation are a disaster. It's on Kamala Harris's watch. She said it right there. We know we have to move away from failed policies. She's talking about herself.
Yeah, she is talking about herself. Let's see how J.D. Vance reacted here.
The world, Kamala Harris is why we have sky-high inflation. Kamala Harris is why you can't afford groceries or housing. Kamala Harris is why the world is at war right now in nearly every single continent. Kamala Harris is why the border is wide open. And Kamala Harris, you want a promotion, but the message from Michigan is you're fired. Go back to San Francisco where you belong.
Go packing to San Francisco. And I think one of the best parts is everyone was mocking her for learning a new word. Again, it's a buzzword. She's throwing out more buzzwords.
Some of the work is going to be through what we do in terms of giving benefits and assistance to state and local governments around transit dollars. And looking holistically at the connection between that and housing. and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing for working people. Some of the work
Holistic. Yes, Kamala has learned a new word today. So just throwing out platitudes and buzzwords, and again, I just throw it back to this. This tells you everything you need to know about the interview before even watching it. That Stephanie Ruhle already defending her post.
And one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
So there you have it, folks. With weeks until Election Day, this is the caliber of leadership the Democrats are offering. But here is what I want to know from you. Is Harris's performance a reflection of her readiness for the presidency or a symptom of a larger problem within the Democrat Party? And how might this impact the upcoming election? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, your voice doesn't just matter in the voting booth. It matters right here, right now. Stay engaged and stay informed. All right, let us check in with our chat crew. Hey, what's up? We got Marky Mark 31 dropping a 10 spot on us. We appreciate that. Keep up the great work, brother. Our first super rant of the night. God bless you. Yes. I don't know, man. I see like all these other people, like the entire show is full of super rants. Like their entire show. All they do is get super chats and super rants. 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s. I mean, what? I don't get it. But thank you, Mark. What, Brian? I don't hear what? Oh, yeah, sure. Rich from Wisconsin says Kamala's a puppet. More like housing for illegals for her. I'd rather be fishing. Sick and evil, says Stephanie. Claire says, I didn't learn anything. LC says, let's roll, Patriots. Taz says, none of Stephanie's questions were important issues that we face. What a joke. San Francisco full of homeless all over the city, says Mr. RC51. He's not a president. Let's see. How do we get to this point? Remember, the less voters, the more corruption. Skamala. You know she's lying if her lips are moving. Ask Willie Brown about her. Oh, boy. Gary, your thoughts? Odd how the hurricane, where'd it go? Will hit in Florida. What next? Fire in California. HARP. I don't know. I mean, I know about HARP, but I don't know if it's directly involved here. I mean, you could speculate, of course, but Kamala's a puppet clown of the Swamp Kingdom, says Gary. Mel says, I live across the bay from San Francisco, and what you don't hear on MSM is the truth about the area. Michelle says, you are too cool. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for that. Okay, now let's take a look at the latest in the feed. What's going on here? Let's see. Excuse me. Excuse me. Washington Times, 14 seconds ago. Secret Service investigating a report that an agent groped Kamala Harris staff member. Gerald Celente with Judge Napolitano. Omar Gonzalez, I'm not sure, marked a historic moment with the installation of a Sentinel weather monitoring system poised to face the challenge of Hurricane Helene. Salty Army Digital Brigade posting that Biden says we put out a statement for a 21-day ceasefire. Chiefs Andy Reid addresses idea Travis Kelce is old and distracted amid Taylor Swift's concerns. Let's see what else here. 5-minute video just put out by RFK regarding the foods that you eat. I haven't watched it, but RFK Jr. is always on point when it comes to that. House passes slimmed down government funding bill despite wave of GOP defections. Janice Dean, this year Canadian patients faced a median wait of 27.7 weeks for medically necessary treatment. It's over 6 months, the longest ever recorded. That's what you'll get with socialized medicine. Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupis, 8 minutes ago, calling these two the Iranian hitmen. Garrett O'Boyle, brave FBI whistleblower Marcus Allen testifies on the weaponization for the second time. There are no words strong enough to describe the impact of the FBI's lies about me have had on me and my family. The stress has taken a toll on our health. Our children have suffered. Ugh. Let's see. Southwest Airlines to outline strategy to fix its profitability problem. Venezuelan migrant arrested after several others were detained after a suspected gang-related shooting at an apartment complex in Utah. Melania Trump telling her own story and breaking norms for American first ladies. Let's see. Kamala Harris gets stumped during her first solo sit-down. If you can't raise corporate taxes or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Well, we're going to have to raise corporate taxes. We have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. What's fair? Define that. It's about paying their fair share. Taxation is theft, by the way. Some kind of a cartoon. Dare I even turn this on? Oh my goodness. I'm afraid to even click to hear the audio on this. Okay, fine.
And I don't have to pretend to be black. Are you prepared to debate Trump? I will debate any cackling Kamala out there, and I will destroy her because I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster, and I can dunk a basketball, folks. And I don't have to pretend to be black like Kamala does.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country.
Ooh.
And then the worst president in the...
That was brutal. That was brutal. Kamala Harris lost. Blew her first solo interview. Can't even answer the question because she's just an idiot. So yeah, a lot of feedback. Oh yeah, the big story right now. How can I miss this? Eric Adams indicted. Let's see. We did actually post that. Let's see, where is that? We did post it. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal corruption charges, becoming the first sitting mayor in city history to face criminal charges. The sealed indictment follows a series of investigations into his administration ties with top city officials. Adams vows to fight back, claiming innocence as pressure mounts for his resignation. Is this connected to his dealings with foreign governments? Or P. Diddy? Or the recent shakeup at City Hall? We'll see. Babylon Bee with this great headline. Trump will start World War III, says party autographing bombs to be launched at Russia. Here's the video of that lunatic that was arrested for threatening Trump. So, and there's the video here. So, again, I want to tell you guys, you got to follow me on X, follow Next News Network on X for sure. Because a lot of the content that we collect for the show, we post it on X. And other things we don't. What, Brian? We got another super rant? Marky Mark coming back? Seems like the hatred from the left of one man will divide and destroy America, but we know that's just an excuse for the most of the left. They just want to watch the world burn. Thank you for that. Sincerely. More developments from the New York COVID czar. New developments. Steven Crowder. He was hired by the pharmaceutical company Cigatech to help sell monkeypox drug. Details spin machine to ensure investors don't dump companies' worthless stock. Yeah, this guy's in deep shit. Okay. My work is not yet done. We got to get these segments out and published for you guys. I want to thank everyone who joined us. We've just taken a wild ride through the treacherous landscape of modern American politics, and I hope you've got your seatbelts fastened because it's only going to get bumpier from here. We've seen a former president, Donald Trump, facing what appears to be genuine threats to his life, not just about one man, it's about the stability of our entire political system. We've witnessed the shocking ease with which our voting machines can be compromised, raising serious questions about the integrity of our elections. We've watched Vice President Kamala Harris, now the Democrat nominee for president, make a desperate last-minute dash to the border that she's ignored for years. We've seen the forced liquidation of InfoWars, a reminder that free speech is under attack in this country. And we've witnessed Harris stumble through a softball interview just weeks before one of the most crucial elections in our nation's history. Each of these stories alone would be cause for concern. Together, they paint a picture of a nation at a crossroads. The powers that be want you to look away, to distract yourself with mindless entertainment, but you are here because you know the stakes are too high for complacency. And that is why I'm asking you right now to support this show. Your donations keep us on the air, keep us digging for the truth, and keep us fighting for you. Go to the link in the description to contribute. Every dollar is a vote for truth in a world drowning in lies. And don't stop there. Tell your friends about us. Share our videos. Spread the word. Because in times like these, an informed citizenry isn't just important, it is essential for the survival of our republic. Remember, Patriots, we're not just observers in this fight. We are participants. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.